Welcome to Authentic Influence. This is Anthony Chance-Smooth from Simple Creative Marketing, and we are doing a live training on how to segment your email audience for more engagement and sales, right? So if you have an email list or you plan to have an email list and you're just either not you're sending out emails and you're just not seeing that you're getting people opening up their emails and reading them and clicking through to offers that you're making, and you're not generating the amount of sales that you want from your emails, then this training is for you. Okay, so let's bring up okay my screen here, and I'm going to walk you through how to segment your email audience, and we'll talk about a few things. So just maximizing the screen here. Okay, so this is coming from my work as a content strategist and copywriter. I've created email nurture sequences and done email marketing for various clients in the professional services and software SaaS space, as well as for my own business, of course. And so there's been a lot of different strategies and tactics that I've learned over the years that I've applied to different email databases. All right, and some have worked and some have just been terrible. Okay, so let me give you the good stuff. All right, so in this training, what we'll cover are the 5 benefits of segmenting your email database, 3 types of segmentation, 2 different ways you can go about segmenting your email list, and then I'll give you a live walkthrough of how to segment your email audience using my favorite tool, ConvertKit. And full disclaimer, I will share an affiliate link for getting a free trial or free account with ConvertKit, and I'll tell you more about that coming up real soon. Okay, so let's talk about the 5 different benefits of segmenting your email database. There are a few more, but these are kind of the main ones I want to cover today. The first one being that you can send more relevant content to your subscribers, right? So nothing's worse than signing up for something and then you're getting emails, but they're not relevant to you. Okay, so maybe you've signed up for an email list. Maybe you have an interest or passion in urban gardening, and you sign up for that newsletter, and now they're emailing you stuff about crocheting, which is just totally not in your area of interest. And what are you going to do? Okay, in that scenario, most likely you're going to go scroll down and find the unsubscribe link, and you're going to click on that and say, see you later. I didn't ask for this information. Another problem or issue that could occur is instead of hitting the unsubscribe link, the person goes and hits the spam link and reports that email that email sender as a spammer, and that can enough of those type of actions from different subscribers in your email database will raise a red flag with your email provider, and they can shut down your account. Okay, and you certainly don't want that happening if you've built up a sizable audience over time, right? So number one, when you segment your database, you can then start saying, hey, I'm going to send this information and this email on this topic to these people. So this group over here who have indicated that that's what they want. And for this other email and this other communication about this other topic, I'm going to send that specifically to this group of people who've indicated that if that's relevant to them. Okay, and so that's going to work a lot better. Number 2 is it will increase your open rates and your click-through rates, right? So open rates are people, when you send an email to 100 people, how many of those 100 people are opening up that email, right? That's called the open rate. And then click-through rates are inside the email itself. If you have links to web pages, to landing pages, to sales offers and these sort of things, click-through rates are, how many people who have opened up that email are now clicking through, and going to the pages that you're trying to direct them to with the next action, right? So when you have a more personalized offer, for a specific audience, and it's relevant, it's tailored, it's customized to them, and they feel like, hey, yeah, this is definitely for me, and this is something I'm interested in, they're more likely to click, one, open email, and two, click through and learn more. Okay. Number three, the third benefit here is that would then lead to more leads and more sales. Okay, so a big problem that I see with a lot of small businesses in the whole email marketing strategy is, if you go to their websites, they'll have just a form on the bottom of maybe in the footer section of the website, and it says something like, sign up for my newsletter. But it's not very clear what are the benefits of signing up for the newsletter, who's the newsletter for, what can they, what can you expect to receive once I've signed up. When you segment, imagine if you served, an e-commerce, one type of customer you serve are e-commerce businesses, and another type you serve may be accountants, right? Now imagine if you had different pages or landing pages on your website, and you would direct, obviously, the e-commerce business owners to your e-commerce landing page, and then you would direct your accountants and accounting firms across to the accounting landing page, and then there's different forms, right? And you would offer different benefits to those individuals or those different types of businesses, right? And that's going to help attract the right type of leads. But the important thing is when they sign up, based on what they signed, what form they signed up on, you have an automated way of tagging or segmenting them. So then they get tagged. The e-commerce businesses get tagged e-commerce. The accountants get tagged accountants or accounting firms, and then that way you're only sending relevant messages to each of those segments. Yeah, and you're not sending e-commerce related content and offers to the accounting firms and vice versa, which would be a total mess. Number four is you have improved customer loyalty and satisfaction, right? If you've got customers and they're segmented in your email list and in your database, and you send them customer only emails or customer relevant emails, that's different to emails that you're sending to everybody else. And maybe, the worst thing as a customer is if they've already purchased a service or a product from you, is then getting an email from you selling that same product or service that they've already purchased from you, right? That clearly shows that you haven't segmented your database and you're just really emailing everybody, and that's not a good look. Okay. Number five is you would reduce your unsubscribe rates and your spam complaints, which I talked about earlier. So they are the five benefits of segmenting your email database. Now, there are three types of, the common question I would get is how do in what ways can I actually segment the database, and how do I actually go about structurally planning out the segmentation, right? And there are three common ways of doing this, or three common types of segmentation. Let's go through those. Okay, so the first one is by demographics, right? So typically, in terms of when you're creating your buyer personas, and we talk about that, we've talked about that many times previously with our guests on this podcast, and also in our content. We can segment by, we can sort of narrow down our personas by age, sex, location, their common demographics. We can also, if you, certainly in the B2B world, you're looking at, size of business, and that could be team size, that could be annual revenue, that could be some other indicators that you use to better understand the type of stage of business that they're in. It could be as simple as, are they a pre-launch business, are they a startup, or are they established? So they could be the three different tiers of demographic that you set up, right? So that's the first type of segmentation. The second type of segmentation is by interests, right? So here's where we're trying to understand from our subscribers, what topics do they like to read about? What are they interested in? Sales related content, marketing related content, building a team type content. Where are they in their business? And what is it? Is it HR they're after? What is it they really want? And even within those broader banners that I've just talked about, you can go much deeper. Are they interested in, in my world where we talk about marketing? It could be that are they interested in generating more traffic to their website? So that's the attraction stage of the business, or they're more interested in the conversion stage. They're getting good traffic coming through, but maybe the conversions aren't doing as well as they want. Or is it more around the after the sales have already happened? Is it more around the delivery side of it, and then building that advocacy, with those clients, right? And so we can segment based on where they are in the business and what their focus is at this point in time, right? So interest, right? And also what products do they buy? This is more, the question here is more around, okay, well, what kind of products are they interested in buying, right? Etc. So the third type of segmentation is by purchase behavior, right? We're asking here is, well, how often do they buy from you? What did they buy previously? And what's the average dollar amount of their purchases, etc., etc. We can use our email software, or we can use an admin person to actually go through and tag subscribers based on that information. We can have a way to automate that. That's much more, I'd say, advanced segmentation, which we won't get into specifically in this training. But if that's of interest to you, please let me know, in the comments under this video, that's something that you want to learn more about, and I can look at creating a training specifically around that. But again, the three types of segmentation here: number one, demographics; number two, interests; and number three, purchase behavior. And you can, of course, have a mix of those depending on how simple or how complex you want your segmentation to be, right? So moving on, let's look at the two different ways to actually do, how do we do that, right? So how do we actually implement? So we've decided what the categories are of segmentation, but now how do we actually go about doing it? There's two common ways to do it. The first one is with an opt-in survey form, okay? Let me just check something here. Okay, good. All right, so the first one is during the opt-in stage, right? So maybe you're presenting a free download on your website, or you're directing people to a landing page somewhere, and you're using something like Lead Pages or whatever, ClickFunnels, whatever tool you're using, and you've got a form, and you're saying, okay, here's a valuable, freebie offer, perhaps, or maybe it is a low cost investment offer. Pay $47 and $97, $250 for this training video, whatever it is that you're offering. And during that opt-in, right, what's happening is you're capturing data about them and their business as they sign up. So here's an example. Let's go back there. Okay, so you may have heard of Amy Porterfield. If you haven't, then she's someone I'd recommend. She's got a great podcast all about online business and online marketing. So I just signed up for one of her free webinars recently, just to take a look at what she's been doing. And immediately after entering my email and my name, I was then presented with this form, which if you're watching the video, then you will see that there's a form that pops up and it says, hey, one last thing, Anthony Chance-Move. So they're using some personalization software that automatically grabs your name and sticks it into that text field, which is very cool. And then it's got a question that says, what's the biggest reason you've waited until now to start growing your list? And it's giving me 5 options, sort of radio options, and I need to select one and then click on that big button on the bottom that says, let's do this. So that's what's presented to me as the person signing up for this free training. Now, on the back end, what's happening is the email software and the technology they're using is taking a note of what my selection is, and then it's tagging me and automatically segmenting, me as a subscriber, and putting my information into a specific bucket, right? So it lets them know straight away what stage of list building that I'm in, and then from there they can send relevant emails based on that, right? So that's very cool. So that's one way you can do that, is during the opt-in survey form stage. Okay. The second way that you can do it, and this is really dependent upon, again, the sophistication of your your technology stack, the tools that you're using, right? For most sort of entry level, I'd say to intermediate level software that you use for collecting email information, you don't really have the ability to create these forms with survey forms, right? Usually you're using some kind of other software to do that, which is then integrated with your email software platform. So then if you don't have that ability and you kind of like have it very simple, then you can do what I'm going to show you how to do in a moment. You can actually create an email survey after they opt in. So, what happens is when someone gives you their email address and name and whatever other details you're collecting, then they receive that automatic email, from your email software that says, welcome, or thanks for signing up, or here's your download, here's your resource, whatever it is they're asking for, they've signed up for. And in that email, you have the ability to embed within that a survey, right? So you can see on the screen here, I'm sharing an example from Pat Flynn, who is from Smart Passive Income, has a wonderful, amazing podcast, and just a great. He's actually got a course on email marketing as well, which I haven't taken personally, but I've seen. I've been observing certainly the way that he's been doing it, and it's really cool. So the first email you receive once you sign up for anything that Pat offers is an email that explains, it's the typical welcome email. Hi, I'm Pat. This is what I do. This is who I serve. This is the mission of the business, etc., etc. And then down the bottom of the email, you can see there is a question in bold, or a statement that says, in order for me to send you emails that make sense for you, I need you to start by clicking on one answer to the following question that best suits you. And then it has a question and it says, which of the following best describes your online business activity? Click on the one answer that best describes you, and it presents 3 options. And then it says, click on one of the above, and you'll be taken to a landing page with more information about that particular segment and what you can look forward to. Okay, so very cool way to do this. And obviously the person who has subscribed chooses one of those options, the most relevant one to where they are in their business, and then they're directed to the personalized experience already begins, because depending on what you click, it's going to send you to a page which is relevant to the option that you chose, right? And on that page, it points you to some resources and also paints the picture of what's coming next. So that's a very cool way to do it. And this, I know Pat Flynn actually is I think he's an investor in ConvertKit. I can't remember exactly, but he's definitely. I think I remember learning about ConvertKit from Pat, because he's been using it, very very early user, and he swears by it, and I've been using it ever since 2006 or something like that. So we can actually do this inside of ConvertKit, and I'm going to show you how that's done. Okay, so there are 2 ways. Now let's go into demo time. I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you an inside look into ConvertKit and how you can actually set up email segmentation using one of the templates that they actually have in there, which makes it really easy to create that segmentation. Okay, so let's go. What I need to do is just share. Let's share screen. I'm just going to flip over to all right, so here we are. So this is ConvertKit. You can go to convertkit.com, or you can go to simplecreativemarketing.com/CK. That will take you to sign up for a free trial of the software, and that will allow you to play with the various functions on its basic plan. And I'll tell you about the pricing plans and how the structure works after this demonstration. But you will land on a page that looks like this. And what I'm going to do is let me just log in. Okay. And here we go. So we're inside the dashboard of ConvertKit, and in here, what you want to do is we're going to go into the automate menu options. So there are 5 menu options at the top. We've got grow, send, automate, earn, and learn. We want to go into automation, and we're going to click on automate. The drop down appears, and we're going to go to visual automations. Right, so we're going to choose that one. Okay, so we are in visual automations, and in here you can click on, so I've got a few in there already. I've got 32 automations running. Well, not all of them are running actually, but ones that I've set up and been testing. But I'm going to click on new automation here, just for the sake of this demo. And then you'll see there are templates, right? So there's a bunch of templates here, and this is a really cool feature that they've been working on over the years, right? So depending on what type of creator you are, maybe you want to release, maybe you're a musician and you want to release a new album, or you are a writer and you want to run a paid newsletter, or you have a podcast and you want to welcome subscribers to your podcast. There are already, there are already templates in here that you can just literally just click on use this template and start tweaking that, customizing it, and get going, right? So they've really made it easy and simple to get started with creating automated email sequences, right? So you might have heard of the phrase nurture sequence or welcome sequence. This is what we're talking about here. Okay, now we're not going to do any of these things, but well, that's cool. They've got a pitch your book with a free chapter. So if you're a budding author and you're releasing a book soon, you can actually do that. There's a template for that as well, which is new. I haven't seen that before. And then we've got a welcome subscribers to your newsletter, which is really cool. That one I have used before. And what I'm looking for here is segment your audience. So let me put a heart there. So favoriting that particular template. And it says, okay, want to learn more about your subscribers? Welcome subscribers to your list with a simple survey question. Now you have the power to personalize emails that they receive based on their answers. Okay, so you can click on preview to see what that segmentation looks like, or what that automation looks like. So there's a landing page. So you can direct people to a landing page which has a form, and then it has an email that goes out. And the sequence includes 4 links. Subscribers who click a link will then receive the corresponding tag. And then you can see here there are 4 different tags based on whatever options. You can customize those tags, obviously, and these are based on what we talked about. It could be interest type, it could be on demographic, it could be whatever it may be, right? And then based on whatever option they choose within that first email that goes out, they get tagged a relevant category or a tag, and then from that triggers an automated email that goes out that you've written to speak to that specific type of individual or business, right? So now you've got a personalized and customized email going out based on who that person is and what interests they have. Yeah, so that's how this works, and then that's the end of the automation. So let's click on use this template. And it says copying the automation. We're copying the visual automation and its contents into your account. This will take a few minutes, but it's literally taken like 10 seconds. Okay. So we are now in we've created a new automation here. It says segment your audience. That's the name of the automation, and we can change that, right? So we can call it our, audience survey sequence, whatever you want to call that. You can call it a segmentation sequence. All good. You can leave it the way it was, or no, it doesn't really matter. On the far right, you'll see there's a toggle which says live, right? So by default, it's set to draft. So until you click on that live, you switch it on, it's not going to be running. Okay, so which is great when we're just editing it and it's not ready to go live. So a few things you would need to do here is, one, you can set up the landing page. Okay, so this assumes that you haven't already set up a landing page or a form for this. If you've already done that, you could just replace. You can actually replace this new welcome landing page that you need to set up with an existing one. So you could choose, for example, what I've done is if you click on edit step here on where it says welcome landing page, you can choose, what is the trigger event that has to happen for a subscriber to go through this automated workflow, right? So what needs to happen first for them to come into this automation sequence? All right, so you're allowed to choose an event. There's also action and condition, but that doesn't apply here. So you're really forced to choose an event. And then it says when a subscriber is added to, it can be the welcome landing page. You can also click on the drop down, and then if you've already set up other landing pages or forms, you can pick one of those and then say, okay, well, when the subscriber is opting into my say VA outsourcing checklist or my strategic partnership kit, or in my case, I've got my most popular one here is my winning case studies guide, right? So when people opt into that, I can choose that. If I click on update event, it's going to now connect that form to this sequence. Yeah, I won't do that because it's going to break my existing automation flow and it's going to confuse everybody. So I'm just going to come back to just click out of there and just leave it to welcome landing page, right? And so what you would have to go through and spend some time, takes you maybe 10 minutes or half an hour max to really customize that landing page and let people know, okay, again, if they're signing up for your newsletter or they're joining your email list, give them 3 benefits of signing up. What are they let them know what are they going to get. Are they going to receive some kind of free download, some training videos, whatever it is that's relevant to your offer? And then you move on to the survey your audience, the next step in the automation, which is they get an email, right, that says, let's click on that. Well, if I click on that box, it actually, okay, let's do that again. So if I click on that box here, survey your audience, it then brings up the survey your audience email. Okay, so in there's a subject line, and it's got already by default. I've got something for you. Okay, you might change that to here's your free resource, or here's here's the resource that you requested. Right, the more specific you get in that subject line, the more likely it's going to be opened up. So keep that in mind. And probably a good tip here is to try and stay away from the word free in a subject line, because right now what's happening with a lot of people's email providers is whenever they detect the word free in a subject line, they're actually marking those as spam emails. Okay, so to increase the rate of your email getting received, delivered, and opened, I'd stay away from the word free if possible, and just say, here's the here's the toolkit, here's the checklist, whatever it is that they requested, here it is. Okay, and then in there, you scroll down, you can see they've already got a template in there, and you can customize that text. This is a really good place to say a bit about who you are, welcome, tell them about your mission, your vision, your purpose, whatever it is, what you do, who you serve, very important. And then you'll see in here that there are several options in here, right? If you scroll down, there are already some buttons here. And it allows you to customize those. And depending on what they click on, so these are options that you present, you can then choose what tag you're going to give to the person when they click on that particular button. All right, it allows you to do two things. One, you can specify where you want to send them. So if they click on that particular button or that option, where do they go? In their browser. And the second thing you can configure here is what tag do you want to give to that particular subscriber once they click on that particular option. Okay, and this is your segmentation. Okay, so you would set up these tags. If it's a new tag, you can just type it in here, right? Give it a name, right? So you can say gluten-free, right? Which is relevant to this particular example we're seeing here. And then that way, whenever you set up a new campaign or a new email, and you just want to send it to the people who want gluten-free recipes, you can just say, hey, we just want to send this campaign to people who have indicated that they are gluten-free, and that's what you would do. Okay, so that's how you would set this up. You would customize all of this, and hit publish changes when you're ready. Okay, so that's the emails. Now you can actually add more emails in this sequence. This is just the first email, and you can configure when you want that to go out as well, right? So it says, do you want to send this 1 day after the last email? Do you want to send it immediately or a week later, whatever it may be? Okay, so that's there. And if we go back, now that's a visual format and a visual template that I've shown you. But you can also do what Pat Flynn did and just do it completely in text format. So all you have is text, and then you present your 3 options as 3 text options, just 1, 2, and 3. Give them the options, and then add the relevant links there, and those links you can configure as with automatic tagging, similar to what Pat has done. Okay, but let's come back to here. Use this template. Okay, so in there, the example they have is all about, this is obviously a cooking example, and they've got in there, okay, if the person in that email, if they click on the vegan recipes option, they're going to be tagged with vegan recipes. If it's gluten-free recipes, they'll be tagged with gluten-free. You saw how those tags were already predefined, so you can go in and change those to match whatever your specific categories are. And then based on whatever specific categories are, they will receive the relevant email, and you can customize that as well, right? So here, let's say I'm going to pick one of my own examples here. So instead of vegan recipes, let's say I work with someone who's interested in productivity, right? So I'm going to update that, and maybe here for this one, I'm looking for people interested in traffic growth, right? So these are tags that I've already set up previously. And then I would have to go back into that initial email and change over, just to make sure that where the options are presented, that I've selected these specific tags. Otherwise, this process will break, right? But you get what's happening here. And then in here, for each one of these options, so say someone clicks through and says, if I'm interested in productivity for, learning more about productivity tips and whatnot, I'm going to click on this copy of that particular email, and I'm going to change this to my #1 productivity tip for B2B owners, for example. All right, and then I'm going to change the subject line as such, and I can come through here and I can change this email. The way they've done it is they've basically got an image, and then they've got a button here, and you can click on that button and you could send that person off to an article or a blog post that you've already created, or a video you've already created somewhere, or you can delete that button if you want, right? And just have this email be a specific text written email. You can have the entire article in here, right? It's up to you how you want to do that. You may have a relevant offer you want to send them to. So here you can see there's an example of this where it says, if you'd like to support my work, please consider leaving me a tip. And there's a button to my tip jar. So you could, if you were a creator and you had, a way for people to pay you, you could do that, right? Or if you have a specific next step that you want people to take, that's where you could put it at the bottom of this email. So let's come back to I keep hitting the wrong button, so it's sending me back to the visual automation page screen. Let's find that one. There's so many. Okay. Yeah, I do need to actually clean up my automations and then probably cut those down to about 5 that I'm actually using right now. So here we are, right? So we've got the segments. So we will update. So step 1 would be to update the landing page if it's a new landing page you're creating, or switch it over to an existing form or landing page you've already created previously. Step 2 would be to update this email. So in that email, you would list out what the options are that people can select in your survey, right? So maybe I try and keep it under 5 options. You don't want to give them 10 things they can choose because that's just too much. 3 is ideal, 5 max, or in this case, there's 4 here. And then you would then make sure that for each of those options in there that you have relevant tags created. And then when you come out, when they choose whatever option they're going to choose, you can then make sure that the tags here match those ones that are in your email. And then for each tag, you want to make sure you have a relevant email sequence that speaks to that particular interest or demographic that they've chosen, right? So once you've completed that, you've got a welcome sequence, you've got a landing page, you've got a welcome sequence, or an email. Your first email is a survey. So, and that survey helps you segment your database, and then based on whatever they choose, you can then do some cool things. Like in this example, a simple example is you would direct them to an email that's relevant. You would send a follow-up email that's relevant to the choice they've made. But this could literally be another sequence. It could be a welcome sequence where it has 10 emails. It could be, it could be a warm-up sequence where you're warming them up to purchase a product or a service or book a call with you, whatever it may be. Or you may send them to an automated newsletter sequence, and have a newsletter going out to them once a week, once a month, whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, so that's how we set up our segmentation sequence inside of ConvertKit. I hope you can see, with a bit of time, I'd say maybe dedicate an hour to going through this entire process. I've done that I've done the whole thing within an hour before. But once you set it up, it's there, it's automated, and then you're now sending better emails to people who have subscribed to your database, right? So from here, the next step is, what do you do once you've got people segmented, right? So beyond just these automated emails that go out based on the tags, you could create a broadcast, for example. So we go to send and we click on broadcast, right? And you go new broadcast. And let's just put here test broadcast. And then you would write your email, right? So this is a text email. And let's continue. And there are, what I failed to mention is you can set up templates. Let's go back into that one. You can set up predefined formatting for your templates. You can have a text-only template. You can have, like I've got one there where I've got my email signature in there with images and whatnot. There's also, different, like there's a modern one, a classic one. These are predefined, and I've just tweaked them. But you can choose your style, right? Which is very cool. You can click on continue, and then here where it says, okay, so who are we sending it from? And then the question here is, who would you like to send this to? Okay, now instead of sending it to all my 870 subscribers here, I'm going to send it to all of the following. I'm going to remove all subscribers, and I'm going to choose a filter. So all subscribers, add filter. I can choose subscribe to forms, tags, right? So remember we defined tags earlier, and then you can just choose whatever tag. Like I just want to send emails to people in my list who have been tagged freelancer. Let's add filter, right? So you can see it's gone from 870 to 13 subscribers, right? And that way, if I'm writing an email that's specific to freelancers or an offer specific to freelancers, I can send this particular email to that segment of my database. And that's how we utilize the segmentation and ensure that we personalize and we're sending relevant emails to the relevant people, and that increases our open rates and increases our sales. Okay, so this is how we one, segment our database, create a segmentation survey inside of ConvertKit, and two, how do we actually utilize that? Now that we've created a segmentation, how do we actually send emails to the specific segments? Okay, so that's. I'm going to bring us back to the presentation here. Now, of course, I kind of went through that. And then I did mention earlier that there are different tiers for different pricing packages. Now, if you want to set up this these automated sequences and funnels the way that I've just demonstrated here, you do need to be on either the Creator plan or the Creator Pro plan. The Creator plan starts at $9 USD per month. And then if you want to now that's dependent. That's up to 300 subscribers. If you've got more subscribers, there's a scaling pricing, and that increases based on the number of subscribers you have, right? But we're just talking about just getting started here. So if you want to do the segmentation using ConvertKit, you're going to need to sign up for the credit plan. But look, that's an investment, and that's saving you a ton of time once you have those sequences set up and those automations set up the way that I've just showed you, right? If you want to get into more advanced reporting, a referral system, subscriber scoring, now we're looking at the Creator Pro plan, which is around $25 per month for 300 subscribers, okay, to begin with, right? Now, but like I said, you can just to play with ConvertKit, and you can create unlimited landing pages and forms. You can send email broadcasts. You can sell digital products and subscriptions. You've got the community support. That's all there in the free plan, and you can just pop over to simplecreativemarketing.com/CK to try ConvertKit for free and set that all up, right? And then when you're ready to really get into the segmentation, I'd say go for it, upgrade to the Creator plan, $9 a month, using my link. Again, this is my affiliate link. I get a commission if you sign up, but only do it because you love the tool. That doesn't affect your pricing in any way. This is just because I've been sharing the tool around with my audience and my clients as well. So again, simplecreativemarketing.com/CK. Go check it out. This is an amazing tool, and segmentation really is a great way to increase engagement and the revenue coming through from your email marketing, right? So now if you have a question about this particular video and this training, pop them in the chat below and I'll respond to, or the comments below, and I'll definitely respond to those. If you have ideas or questions about other features or other things you want to do with email marketing, let me know as well. Or maybe other features of ConvertKit that you'd like to look at, then I can happily, I'm creating a series of these videos to help people really get the best out of their investment in ConvertKit. And I want building a guide on this as well. So anything that you want covered, let me know again in the comments, and I'll be sure to create relevant trainings around those as well. Okay, again, go up and if you're interested in giving it a trial, just head over to simplecreativemarketing.com/CK, and I highly recommend you have a play with the tool, and that's the best way you're going to learn about it and see how awesome it really is. Okay, you're awesome. Thank you for tuning in today for this training, and we'll be in touch real soon with our next video in this series.